Hello, I am Todd.
I'm Joel, and this is the Verbal Nonsense Podcast.
It certainly is. How you doing today?
I am pretty good. How about yourself?
I woke up pretty late this morning. As we all well know, I hit the snooze, which is always a bad idea. It's always a bad idea to hit snooze. Just wake up. There's a ton of articles on the internet that say when your alarm goes off, just wake up. Don't hit snooze. I never listen to that. I like to hit the snooze button at least 5-6 times before I wake up.
I hit it twice.
You hit it twice. Yep. I hit it as many times as possible. My girlfriend can attest to that. She's just like, oh, why are you setting it so early? Because I gotta set the snooze at least 5 times, minimum. And I was going through my notes this morning, and I saw an article. Actually, it wasn't even an article. It was on Reddit. The Today I Learned subreddit. I recommend everybody subscribe to that one. Follow that subreddit if anybody's on Reddit. Basically, Kenny Jacuzzi, he invented the hot tub. Did you know this? His last name was actually Jacuzzi. But he invented it for his 15-month-old son for pain relief. His son was born with rheumatoid arthritis. And, yeah, so, hot tub. And, in our next episode, later, short this week, we're going to be talking about some strange inventions. More modern than we've covered in the past. And, so, hang out and check out that one sometime. Hang out for days, because that'll probably be out Tuesday or Wednesday. Not really sure, so after this one, just sit in the channel, don't do anything, and wait till Wednesday. So,
yeah.
That's that's my recommendation on what you do this week. You want to start?
Assuming our viewers have nothing better to do?
They don't. I mean, really, you don't. You don't. Think about your carbon footprint. If you leave your house, you will be creating greenhouse gases outside. If it's inside, it's, I don't know, filtered through your green AC. I don't know. Do you turn off your AC when you leave the house?
I do not.
I don't either.
I'll tell you why. That turning it off and you come home to a hot house and I turn them on, they will run harder, longer than if I just leave it on, and they'll continuously just shut off.
It's very true. It's a widely known fact, rarely practiced. There's a lot of people I know who turn all of that off when they leave the house. Did you turn the AC off? Oh, yeah. And then they come home to a hot house, and at the end of the month, high electric bill.
Yep.
You know, if you can just find that perfect spot where your AC or your heater doesn't, like, kick on regularly, that's where you need it at. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. But, man.
I keep mine at 68 degrees.
I wish we can... I know it was a hoax. I looked deeper into it. One of my buddies, the video of the AOC, quote-unquote AOC fan who was talking about eating babies to save the earth. I shared it to you. Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched a good portion of it.
It's pretty viral now. It's all over the place. But I thought it was hysterical. I immediately thought of Jonathan Swift's Indecent Proposal, where he talks about eating babies. And I didn't know, but I suspected that it was a hoax, like, from the beginning. And I enjoy how there are tons of people online right now who are just like, have either A, never heard of Indecent Proposal, or B, don't care and find this is a way to make people look ignorant. But there's a lot of ignorant people calling people ignorant online today.
Oh, yes.
And I guess now I'm one of them. If you haven't seen the video, go find it. I'm not going to link to it, but definitely go find it.
Just prepared for some brain damage.
Oh, she's hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
And funny. I mean, she's hysterical, like in a non-funny way, but I found it very humorous. If you read Indecent Proposal, I believe that's the name of the book. It's really short. I think it's only like 30 pages. It's, I think, considered like a royalty-free classic. You can get it free online. But Jonathan Swift maps out like an entire, like, how it boosts the economy and saves the population of Ireland. They're poor by eating babies and creating this like baby meat market. It's a job creator because there will be women who just their job is to pop out babies to eat. I enjoy it, but I'm done with that, man. If you want to find something that's actually a little more interesting to talk about today.
All right, let me start by saying, Todd, are you a vegan?
I'm definitely a vegan when I eat only vegetables, and then sometimes I am a carnivore, and I'm a lot of things all wrapped into one.
Well, apparently there's this woman named Charlene. Charlene's a vegan, and she claims that she was served a pork sausage roll she thought was meat-free.
Did it kill her?
Said she'll be traumatized for life.
Hold on, did it... Tell me there's a lawsuit.
Yeah, I believe there's a lawsuit.
Awesome.
She broke down in tears and started having heart palpitations when she realized, not from eating it, when she realized it was actual sausage that she ordered from a bakery in Kent, England. She said, I haven't had meat in 2 years. My belly started hurting and my heart started going crazy. I was panicking because that only happens when I consume meat. It doesn't happen when I have other food. I'm traumatized for life now. I'm never going to Greg's again.
Was this that was a bakery? Where was this at?
This was it was a bakery called Greg's. Apparently it's a chain. And it was in Kent, England.
Okay.
She called the bakery's customer service hotline, and she was instead offered a $36 voucher. Well, the manager tried to give her a $2 refund for the roll.
Oh, okay.
But she said that wasn't good enough. So she called the hotline. They offered her a $36 voucher, but she wanted an apology. She wants a public apology.
Really?
People can be allergic to pork and potentially die from such a stupid mistake.
Mm-hmm.
It's my choice to not consume meat because it causes cancer.
Okay, that's neat.
And that choice has been taken away from me. Oh, she's a YouTuber.
Never mind.
She posted 3 videos on social media railing about her food experience.
3. So much YouTube money from this. So she gets $36 plus her monetization.
My body is poisoned for life now.
Wait, what?
That's
really?
What she said.
Poisoned for life.
One roll and poisoned for life. I'm pretty sure anything from the pork will be processed and well gone from your body.
Maybe she doesn't poop.
Maybe.
Maybe that's why she's vegan, because she doesn't pass pork or meat. It just stays in her. I'm gonna have to look her up. That sounds like a good time. So, I've never been I've never been offered money from fast food or a restaurant or something over a bad experience, but I really don't complain. When I show up, I know people have a bad day. I know you should get your money's worth and stuff, but it's just like, if I didn't really enjoy it, I just don't go back.
Yeah.
You know, but how do you feel? Let's say you go and you get something you didn't like, or you got like rancid tuna salad instead of like, I don't know, a ribeye steak or something. Would their offering you to come back satisfy your complaint? You know what I mean? Because that's something I saw I've seen regularly. It's just like, oh, we're sorry, we totally destroyed your order. Here's $20 off your next visit. It's like, you're assuming I'm coming back.
Now, if it's a place that has, like, normally good business and it was, like, a weird one-time incident, like, if I had been there, like, 50, 60 times and I've always had a great experience and all of a sudden I had one bad, that probably wouldn't drive me away.
Yeah, okay.
But now, normally I'm the same way, unless it's something really bad like that. I would say something. I wouldn't throw a fit about it, but I would make them aware of the situation. And I guess it all depends what kind of mood I'm in. But I remember, I won't name the chain, but I was at a fast food place that I used to frequent, and most of the servers there knew me, I think. And I don't like pickles on my burgers. And now, if it had just gotten messed up, I normally wouldn't say anything. I would just take the pickles out. But it actually had the receipt on top with the words "no pickles" circled. Yeah. And it had pickles in it.
Oh, no.
So I took the pickles, put them on the piece of paper that said "no pickles," and put it on the counter.
That's rude. That's rude, man.
And brought it up to the counter, and the guy was like, "What's that?" And I said, "No pickles." And I walked off. I ate my burger. That's all I said.
Okay. You didn't tell him that you were poisoned for life because you had pickles on your hamburger?
No, and there were no palpitations. No, the thing, I like pickles. I just don't like them on my sandwich or my burger.
I was really hoping that that this vegan was a different one, because also in Britain this week, a fed-up patron at a British pizza place punched a vegan activist in the face.
What?
Yeah, okay, so I wasn't actually going to talk about this one, but it's a great segue. Maybe this person should have been at a bakery instead of a pizza place. Because, because I'm just going to read it, because I like I said, I was going to pass it up. I didn't really look into it that much, but the whole thing was caught on video. I'm not going to show the video. You can find the video if you really want to watch people punching each other. I feel like that's on the decline. I think World Star should have copyright internet fights, and it should have just been on World Star. I don't feel like everybody with a camera should be videoing fights. It's like, ooh, straight content. But anyway, the footage of the Sunday night confrontation at a Pizza Express in Brighton shows half dozen activists marching single file, holding a sign and shouting slogans as they block the counter. An unidentified attacker confronts the group, telling them to leave, pointing to the door, and then apparently a brawl ensued. I didn't even watch the video, but I thought it was funny. What do you think he said to them?
I don't know, but you know what? Listen, if you want to protest, that's fine. But if you try to stop me from getting food when I'm hungry, I might get angry.
Or getting to work. I mean, yeah. Union picket lines, I understand that. They're fighting for their job rights, their right to work. Essentially, it's not like, oh, we're not working, because they're talking about actually rights that they have an agreement with their job. That's how union picket lines form. That's how they block. They're just like, our job has breached their contract with us, so we are not working. And then, of course, they have to keep their business running, so they try to hire other people to come in and work. And that picket line is there to ensure that, hey, look, we mean business. You guys are not operating until you correct this contract problem.
That I understand. But these people's rights aren't being violated. Yeah. They just don't agree that everybody should be eating meats.
Blocking highways, blocking restaurants, that you're superficial. That's what I see every time I see something like this. Is just like, there's right ways to protest. There's right ways to counter protest. I'm not understanding why we always have to resort to violence when we disagree.
I agree.
I feel like every business should go ahead when they go and get a business license and they get the zoning and everything figured out, the city should step in and say, okay, in the off chance there should be a protest against your facility, where is your designated protest area? You know, they need to map out.
You see that small red circle right there?
They need to map out the zoning and everything and say, this is our protest area. In their business plan, when they go get the loan, the bank should be asking, oh, where's your designated protest area? I don't see that here. You might want to go get that figured out. And, you know,
I think it should be a red circle with a line through it.
I think it should be on the corner right there in the right turn lane.
Now, speaking of protesting, did you ever get any information about why
I didn't.
Westboro was going to protest?
No. As soon as I started talking about protesting, I realized that I haven't gotten an email or a call back or anything from these crazy people. So, old Westboro. And the Modest Mouse concert is long gone, and after they didn't really say anything, I didn't even bother looking to find out why Modest Mouse was getting protested. I just enjoy more Modest Mouse. I mean, Black Keys, I finally did listen to them extensively, and I still like Modest Mouse more, but Black Keys are pretty good. I really, I mean, there's things that I can see are offensive in their music to a group of people, not just Christians. No, not just. I mean, I'm not saying that Westboro Baptist Church is a Christian church at all, but I can see that they could be infringing on the beliefs of a lot of different religions. You know, these people, both bands, Black Keys and Modest Mouse, aren't particularly offensive. They have some, I guess, nihilist opinions about some things that isn't dominant in their music, but it is there. And I could see that might be a reason why somebody would protest, because they might sing one of those maybe 5 songs of their probably, I don't even know how many. Both bands have a large discography.
Yes.
They've been around for a long time. And as people, as songwriters, they've probably evolved quite a bit. So, there's a lot of different ideas, more or less formed out of their music, but I don't know. I think Westboro was just being retarded, and also looking at their fall protest schedule, they don't venture far from their home camp much at all. So I think it might have just been happening, and they're like, we might be able to make some money here. Other than that, that's the end of that story. I'm not even pursuing it anymore. Those people are chicken shit. They won't even.
I don't think they ever actually turned up for the Jeff Hanneman funeral, which I think would have been worth watching. If I found out they were legit actually going to go there, I would have showed up for that, I think.
Well, it's a funeral. It's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
I can't remember whose son was it they showed up for. Who was it? This was back in Westboro's, peak, I think.
They actually showed up for a funeral out here in this area at one point.
That surprises me.
It was a military funeral. I don't remember who it was for, but my wife knew about it, and people were actually getting people from around here to block the protest.
Surprised somebody didn't get shot. Be honest with you, as much as people around here like talking about shooting people.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of them showed up. I think it was only like
just
3 or 4 of them.
Just the diehards. Just the true believers.
But yeah. I'd have to ask my wife. She might remember when that happened.
Probably. That's kind of big news for this area. Get in the limelight of Topeka, Kansas. It's kind of curious. I don't know. I'm gonna fly on with the fast food news.
All right.
McDonald's recently got a pretty big promotion from Burger King, believe it or not. This happened, I think, last week or something. But they're this wasn't actually even something I was planning on covering either, so I'm kind of having to look. But September on the 26th, basically Burger King was like, just go to McDonald's today. This, of course, took place in Argentina, not in America. We are true capitalists here, and we get what we can. It apparently worked, because the next day, Burger King got a huge boost in customers. And what was this? Oh, this was actually due to not Burger King, but McDonald's in Argentina was giving $2 from every Big Mac and any other of their signature burgers. I'm guessing that's like the quarter pounder and maybe, I don't know, probably not the McChicken, which I enjoy most. But they were giving $2 from every signature burger sold to Children with Cancer charity. And so Burger King was like, go have a Big Mac. Don't even bother coming here today. So good for Burger King for supporting McDonald's charity. Good for McDonald's for having a charity that massive. I don't think McDonald's here in America gives that much. $2 from every burger. That's pretty substantial.
That is pretty substantial.
I think the Big Mac is like $2.29 or $2.59 or not two. It's like $4. Excuse me. What am I? It's the 1990s. Yeah, it's double whatever it was, but no, it's like $4. It's like $4.29. So you're talking almost 50% of each burger sold is going to charity. That's massive. And Argentina's got quite a large population. It's not a backwards country. It's not like Venezuela. McDonald's were saying,
$3.99 for a Big Mac.
$3.99.
$5.99 for the meal.
That's somewhere else. That's not here. Yeah, that's not here in rural Missouri. I guess it costs more because I'm pretty sure it's like $6.29 for the Big Mac meal. I don't know. I don't care. The McRib is back, and I have eaten a total of 5 so far. So I enjoyed my McRibs yesterday. I had 2, and I know Joel thinks it's mystery meat. We've had this conversation already. What do you think about the McRib sandwich? Comment below. Not you. I already know your opinion. I don't want your opinion poisoning our viewers. I mean, I think it came out that the McRib and partial some other meats there at McDonald's was actually made from horse years ago. I think it might have actually tasted better back then. I don't know. I think we hold too much sentimental value to meat in this country. It's like the joke that Chinese food is all made out of cat. I love cats, but if cat tasted like that, I would probably eat one. 100%. What are you looking at?
Actually, the price of the Big Mac in Houston, Missouri is $3.99.
Okay. Could have swore it was more.
It might be. I mean, but it's like
I feel like it's breaching the $4 mark.
From like town to town.
Yeah.
Like
of course. Oh,
like if you go to Walmart in Houston and you look at the prices there, and then you go to a bigger area like West Plains or Springfield, the food's cheaper in the bigger cities. Because of more population. You can sell it for less prices.
Yeah, the food is, but I found that actually at the Houston Walmart, you could actually find other things like like products are sometimes substantially cheaper. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. Of course, we do have that whole second tax at ours too.
Yeah,
but which is ridiculous.
So, sticking with the food theme, since we're on it.
Yep.
This happened September 27th. A grocery store employee in Oregon was arrested on suspicion of providing her coworkers bean dip.
Oh, man.
Meth.
I was going to talk about this one, but yes, this is amazing.
Yeah. Apparently, what was it? She was working at a Thriftway grocery store when she was spotted behaving suspiciously on security footage. She had prepared a plate of bean dip, sometimes with her back to the surveillance camera, and also while appearing to retrieve something out of her bra. I mean, was she trying to expand her meth business? Like, I'm going to get my coworkers hooked on meth.
I think she was just trying to make it through her day. Yeah, I was reading about that, and one of them was just like, I felt really weird and ended up going to the hospital. And I mean, meth is no joke. I mean, it's
a terrible,
it's a terrible drug. I mean, people who do meth, like, voluntarily, they've just decided that's what I'm going to become. You know, the faces of meth, you know, sites and pictures and stuff. They've been around long enough that everybody knows what they look like. You know, it's not a mystery on what meth does to people. You know, it literally transforms you mentally and physically. And they're like, I think I'm going to try meth today. Oh, yep. That doesn't look that bad. You know, granted, nobody tries anything expecting to be addicted to it, but
putting in the bean dip and then, you know, letting coworkers have some.
Yeah, feeding them bean dip. I don't know. I can't remember whether it was just like one or two other people who were exposed to it or not. I believe it stated in the article that I was reading. I think it was like the one girl like forgot her lunch or something, and she was like, "Hey, why don't you have some of this bean dip?" And just like scratching her face off.
Apparently, the third employee who also ate the dip. Okay, so there was three.
Oh, yeah.
Later claimed that Hernandez told her that the methamphetamine was added to the food by accident.
Whoops! Didn't mean to put that meth in there.
I mean, mix it in real good.
Maybe it'll get diluted with the bean dip and no one will notice. I've done that with cornstarch before, thinking it was powdered sugar, just grabbing the wrong container. I'm just like, okay. And then just whatever I was making just becomes really thick. So oops. It kind of looks the same. It'll be okay. You know, just watching people's mouths just gum up. What is this? Powdered sugar, I swear.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, she came out and talked about it, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, I put meth in there," you know. But no, there was a part in the article I was reading talking about how the company was really surprised that that this happened because she was a valued and trusted employee who had been hired in August. It's just now October, guys. She's been there for less than... she's still on her 90-day probation. They only suspended her pending the trial. Can I get an application to this job? Because apparently you can get away with anything. I might be going to jail for a little while, guys. It's all right. Job's here when you come back. You're a valued, trusted employee.
Even though you admitted to sprinkling meth on bean dip.
The bowl, I don't know. They didn't show a picture of the bowl, but like, how big is this bean dip bowl? How much meth was actually added into it to make people spaz out? I don't know how much meth it takes to get high, but at the same time, it's like, it seems like in a larger bowl that there would be a large amount of
and the other
meth.
thing is, I don't think it's normally ingested.
Yeah, I don't know.
Normally they just smoke it.
Shoot it up. I watched Breaking Bad. You can eat it. I'm a meth expert because I watched Breaking Bad. I love that show though. Better Call Saul. That's the
the prequel.
Oh man, that's amazing. Way better than the Star Wars prequels.
Did you see that they're coming out with a movie?
No, I did not. I don't know if I'd watch that.
It's with the further story of Jesse Pinkman.
Oh no, that poor guy.
I don't know if it's a new TV show or it's a movie. I think it was a movie. I saw a part of a trailer. Apparently, it was a small teaser. It just showed pictures of him, but he's all scarred up from after. But I think it's supposed to focus around him after everything that happened.
That's rough. He really went down a dark hole.
Yes, he did.
Real dark. That his character in particular was really gut-wrenching to watch.
Apparently, he was only supposed to be in like the first season.
Yeah, but he was amazing. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that. He was literally, in all honesty, if he wasn't in the show, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it because he was more or less the character that brought out the absolute darkness of Walter White. I mean, the more horrendous things that Walter White did in the show was because he thought he was looking after Jesse.
Yeah.
And, it turned him into a monster.
Yeah, apparently, after having him in a couple episodes, they just realized that the chemistry between those two characters and the actors.
Chemistry. Nice.
Pun intended.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
I apologize for nothing.
I'm going to go from bean dip to the extra large grilled stuffed burrito. It's just going to be a food-based episode today. Taco Bell, of course, they had a menu change. There's somebody swearing up and down at work that the grilled stuffed burrito is still on their menu. I'd like to know where that Taco Bell's at. Because Taco Bell they've changed a bunch of stuff. They're not... They got rid of some things. Oh man, hang on just a second. They killed off 9 menu items. And they may still be at your Taco Bell, but believe me, they're getting phased out. The Dorito Locos Tacos, they'll be gone.
No.
Beefy mini quesadillas, they'll be gone. I never actually had those, but I'm sure they're delicious. The grilled stuffed burrito. Now, me personally, the grilled stuffed burrito was better before it became the extra large. I don't know why, but oops, I just beat my desk. But I don't need to eat a burrito this big. I need to eat 3 burritos this big. I'm just gonna say, the grilled stuffed burrito was perfect the way it was. It did not need to be extra large because I was ordering a minimum of 2 when I ordered them. I found that like the flavor, the taste, the way it cooked, everything had kind of changed. It was still my favorite thing on the item, don't get me wrong, but it had changed. It wasn't as good, and I totally think it was because they tried to cram too much into one thing. I'm fine eating like.
The proportions were off flavor-wise.
Yeah, I think a baker's dozen of the grilled stuffed burrito was fine rather than just like one
massive.
Yeah, I don't need a massive burrito. You're at Taco Bell, you're ordering more than one thing. That's just the way it is. But there's a dude who's kind of pissed off about it. And I wish that this article had given a full list. If I had been thinking, I would have looked for a full list. Todd? His name was not Todd because I don't frequent it as much. Nacho fries. I'm sorry, Taco Bell. You have no business messing with nacho fries. This is not something you need to keep on your menu. I did have I don't remember the name of it, but whatever the new burrito is that's supposedly taking the place of the grilled stuffed burrito. I ate it. It's like a burrito wrapped with another burrito, and there's like nacho cheese in the middle of between those. And it's good. It's not that good. But there is a petition. There is one man, Eric Newells, who has taken it upon himself to try to revert these changes. If you are in his same category of thought, and that the menu should not have changed or certain menu items should have been left, you can go to change.org to sign his petition. Again, his name is Eric Newells. Neuls.
Did you sign the petition?
No, I'm not a petition signer.
Even if it means bringing back the original...
it doesn't mean anything. You know, people do what they want to do. You sign a petition, they're just like, oh, here's a list of people who disagree with us. Then they throw it away. I mean, petitions...
circular bin.
Yeah. Petitions don't mean anything. I mean, they're like, sign this petition to blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. You know, I'm not going to get political with this, but that's the only direction we can go with it. So I'm not going to talk about it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's what's going on with Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King. Have we missed anybody?
And let us know in the comments if there's a...
Yeah, if you know of other fast food restaurants who are doing dumb things or good things, let us know.
Yeah, I was upset when the local Taco Bells removed the KFC.
I personally did not enjoy the KFC Taco Bells. I did recently go to KFC. I hadn't been to KFC in probably 10 years. And we recently went, I say recently, 2 weeks ago, and I tried the Cheetos chicken sandwich. Have you seen that?
No.
No?
It's been a little bit.
It's a chicken sandwich that is covered with Cheeto powder with cheese and then actual Cheetos, like crunchy Cheetos. And I was like, this sounds so bad. It's got to be good. It's delicious. I'm just going to say it is absolutely delicious. It's probably one of the...
So you're that guy. This sounds like a terrible idea. Give me one.
Yeah, this is so bad. This is... How did this get past the board? You know, they're having that meeting and they're like, oh, we got some ideas. Oh, it's like the Lay's when they were doing all those potato chip ideas for a while. You know, they had the biscuits and gravy chips. I did not get around to trying those. I meant to, but it didn't happen. But there was like this massive onslaught of weird flavors, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how did they get past the board? How does a Cheeto sandwich get past the idea board? How does cookies and cream Oreos get on the shelf? Those are literally Oreo flavored Oreos.
Yep.
You know, I got cookies and cream ice cream in the freezer. I always do. I love the Oreo in the ice cream. My favorite. How do you make cookies and cream Oreos, though? So dumb. You have not ran out of ideas, Oreo. You have not released the bacon Oreo yet. You know, salty and sweet never fails. I don't know.
I'll agree with that.
I don't remember what I was talking about, but whatever it is, I'm done with it.
Chocolate covered bacon? It's delicious.
It sounds delicious.
Salty, chocolatey goodness.
So what else have you got?
Nothing food related.
Oh, well, I guess we're done here. Thank you for watching the Verbal Nonsense Podcast. No, I'm kidding. There's plenty more to look at. Holy cow.
All right, well.
Yeah, let's cover some of your stuff so I can pass on this one. I'm actually kind of turning red off of that.
In Georgia.
Oh my goodness. This is Northern Florida news.
Now this happened October of last year, but it happened in October. And construction workers in Valdosta, Georgia, were surprised to discover 1,000 teeth inside a building wall.
Oh my gosh.
And they were human teeth.
Nope. That's a haunted building. No.
Apparently, the building's first tenant was a dentist named Dr. Clarence Whittington. But it doesn't explain why the teeth were in the wall.
It doesn't explain in our last episode from last week why a guy had 2,200 fetal remains in his house.
Yeah.
This guy's... I gotta hand it to this guy. Teeth grow back. Well, some of them. Some of them grow back.
The Daily Times also pointed out that wall teeth have been found in 2 other Georgia cities as well.
What?
Both times, the buildings that previously had dental offices as tenants. Is there something that dentists need to put teeth into walls?
Put them in the wall to appease the dental gods. Just fill the walls with teeth.
I mean, is this like some secret thing to like warding off ghosts, like people who put salt along windows and stuff like that?
I don't know. I stayed at this old bed and breakfast one time, and the cabinet, like the medicine cabinet in the bathroom, had a slot in it where they would, guess back in the day, when you were done with your razor, because they used to have like this straight razor. Not the fold-out ones, but they were legitimately razors that, I don't know, you can still buy them. If you don't know what they are, go look them up. But anyway, you could take these out, and you just put them in the slot. Now, you would have ran into the same thing, but instead of teeth, you would have had, like, millions of razors basically falling out of the walls, because that's where this went. You know, it was in the wall, mirror in the wall. You open it up to go get your Tylenol or whatever, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to put my razor here and into the slot, and it just goes into the wall. Do you think they have like a tooth disposal slot?
That sounds more like a murder weapon disposal.
No, I mean it was like a small slot. It was like a coin slot, really.
I understand what you're talking about. I've actually
it wasn't
seen
like
that.
A slot for a machete. This machete blade is dull. Good thing I got a replacement.
You could totally use a straight razor as a burn.
Yeah, you can, sure. I mean, the ones that you use for, I'm not talking about like the Sweeney Todd razors. I'm talking about the small ones. Yes, you could. You're probably just as likely to cut yourself as someone else with one of those things. Fatally. As you go to slash, you slice your own wrists too. They're double-ended. But
indeed they are.
Yes, they are. But did the teeth, what did they end up doing with them? Did they even say, what do you do with human teeth other than make a necklace?
Apparently they just disposed of them. There was some sort of museum that said they were interested, but apparently they just threw them out.
A museum interested in human teeth that aren't hundreds of years old.
Local Historical Society.
So. Oh, they just needed something new. Don't worry about them guys.
They said they'd be happy to receive the teeth, but apparently they were just thrown away.
Yeah, they're like not those kooks at the local Historical Society. They don't get these. They'll probably try to make a piano keys out of them or something.
Jewelry.
Yeah. We don't need any more of their fake historical facts. They'll just put them in the vault for 50 years and stuff, and they'll be like, oh, look at this crazy stuff. Yeah, everything becomes history over time.
Oh, Todd.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what do you got? You got anything?
I don't think I'm burnt out yet, but I may have to just pander. I'm just getting a bunch of news about Pokemon Sword and Shield basically right now. That's what my news feed is full of. Just new Pokemon's out. Go play it. I love Pokemon though. Did you play any Pokemon growing up, or in your adult life?
I did.
Mine was all in my adult life.
I did a little bit of the Pokemon Go just to see what that was all about.
Oh man, that was a good time. I enjoyed Pokemon Go.
I would admit, I liked. Yeah, it got me out walking. You know, I didn't stick with it just because where I'm at, there's not a whole lot.
There's no stops. You just hang out at the one stop forever.
There's no stops out here at all.
You're one of those Pokestop peoples. They have no stops in Somersville.
None.
How is that a thing? Of course, you guys really don't have 4G internet out there either. Like, data towers.
I think we do, but it just... I think they just closed off requests for stops and stuff.
Yeah.
Before anything ever got out here. I've gone through towns with less population and buildings that actually had stops.
When I worked on the Mississippi River, half of the river locks that we would go through were Pokestops. So I was able to play regularly, and it would take an hour to an hour and a half to go through the lock, and I was always within range of the Pokestop while I was there, so I'd be able to hit it 15 times or something like that. I don't know, 10, probably not that often. I don't remember how often they reset, but I was able to do that. And since the boat was constantly in motion at about 4 miles an hour, the 28 days that I was working, I was typically walking at least 26 of those 24 hours a day, technically, because I would put the phone up in the window. And 4 miles an hour, that's perfect walking distance. I hatched some eggs, let me tell you. I mean, never
there you go,
anything
folks.
good.
There's a Pokemon hack for you. Go work on a boat.
Go work on a boat. Oh, man. Did you hear about the woman who was accused of abandoning her adopted daughter?
No.
Okay, so apparently in 2010, there's this woman. She was accused of, in 2010, she adopted a child from the Ukraine who was supposedly, and I'm going to read this article, and then I'm going to go look, because I'm pretty sure the article is actually inaccurate. But this initial is what really got me interested in it. Is the little girl they adopted was supposedly an actual adult who's had dwarfism, and Christine Barnett and her ex-husband Michael Barnett were charged with neglect after leaving Ukraine-born Natalie Grace at an apartment shortly before moving to Canada in 2013. The family paid Natalie's rent after they left the United States, but otherwise broke off contact. Natalie is 3 feet tall and has trouble walking. In a defense echoing a 2009 horror film, The Orphan, Miss Barnett, 45, Natalie, 22 years old when they left her behind, not 9 as the court documents claim. According to the letter from the family doctor, U.S. Barnett provided local TV station Natalie's date of birth and time of adoption was clearly inaccurate. The letter, which Indiana University Health have not confirmed as genuine, states that she is an adult. She had adult teeth and began menstruating. Oh, gosh, I wish I had stopped reading. Something about menstruation reminds me of, I don't know. It attracts bears, and I have a fear of bears.
Oh, my goodness.
Just bears. Shark attacks. Anyway, it also states the girl had made a career of perpetuating her age facade. That, I don't know. A lot of people lie about their age, okay? this is not really news, but the girl's age was... Wait, the Barnetts had the girl's age legally changed from 8 to 22. How do you do that?
I didn't think that was possible.
I don't think that is possible.
I've heard of people attempting
to change your age. It's just like, man, I'm 16. I want to go buy beer. It's easy. Just go down to the office and be 21. Duh. You know?
Yeah, I saw a ridiculous thing where there was this guy in his 40s saying that he identified as a 20-something. He's going to try and have his age legally changed.
But it turned out the real story here... Oh, we're continuing the fake story, actually. This woman child was apparently... She was trying to kill these people. That is why she was abandoned. That's why the Kennetts have... excuse me, the Barnetts. The Barnetts said they abandoned this child, or woman. We're not really sure at this point. But that she was trying to murder him. I hate to break it to you. You sleep sometimes. You sleep. There are times where you sleep.
Maybe they were taking shifts so that the murder dwarf wouldn't get them.
My bad. Okay, so no, that article actually is real. That is... I'm so sorry. That's terrible. That's terrible content right there. No, apparently they adopted an adult. And after checks, they found out that this child was actually in their 20s.
And was trying to kill them.
And was actually trying to kill him, and that's why they abandoned her. I'm sorry. I thought that story was fake. Apparently, it's true.
Oh my goodness!
Because I found the article that was fake. That I did find the proof that it was. But that's a whole different story that I'm not even going to bother covering now that I've butchered that one. That was yeah, no. So, if you're into adopting children, make sure they're children. That's the moral of that story.
I want to know, who did they adopt through that they didn't realize that this was grant, yes, she was a...
It costs thousands and thousands of dollars to adopt a child. So, if you're wanting, if you're wanting a family and you can't have one, and you don't have tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands, you're looking to cut costs somewhere, you get pretty shady.
Also, how long did it take them to figure this out? I mean, were they just finally like, why isn't our toddler growing?
So, why am I missing menstrual Band-Aids?
Indeed. Sanitary napkins.
Yeah. Darling, where are my panty sponges? I'll stop. I don't know how... I'm guessing that the legally changed the age was actually correcting the age.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing that's where that was actually from. That's just my guess. I don't think they were just like, now you're 20. I think that the health department was just like, this is our guess that she's actually in her 20s and not 8. Yeah.
Well, I have a penchant for older stories.
Yeah.
I like history.
You like them old. You like bringing up old stuff.
I do like to bring up old stuff. What do you know about the Battle of Los Angeles?
It's a good movie. I think The Rock was in it. I don't remember though.
Basically, it was a bizarre little thing that happened during World War II. It was after Pearl Harbor, and they had been, rumors running around that Japanese warships or submarines were spotted going up near the west coast.
Okay.
And let's see. On February 23rd, Japanese submarine surfaced off the coast of Santa Barbara, California, and it hurled over a dozen artillery shells at an oil field and refinery. There were no casualties. There was some minor damage. But the day after the oil field, paranoia and itchy trigger fingers combined to produce one of the most unusual home front incidents of the war. It began on the evening of February 24th, 1942, when naval intelligence instructed units in California coast to steel themselves for a potential Japanese attack. Everything was calm for a few hours, but shortly before 2 a.m., military radar picked up what appeared to be an enemy contact some 120 miles west of Los Angeles. They sounded air raid sirens. They did a citywide blackout. And within minutes, troops had manned anti-aircraft guns and began sweeping the skies with searchlights. It was just after 3 a.m. when the shooting started. They started firing anti-aircraft and 50 caliber machine gun fire. Powerful searchlights from countless stations stabbed the sky with brilliant probing fingers, while anti-aircraft batteries dotted the heavens with beautiful, if sinister, orange bursts of shrapnel. Now, this continued for several minutes.
And then it was over.
But here's the thing: so this is going on, but no one could see anything, but smoke and the glare of fire.
What?
Apparently, after everything settled, there was no signs of any attackers.
Whoa.
And mind you, they fired over 1,400 rounds of anti-aircraft shells.
Oh, firing back? So they were firing into the air, freaking out, basically, is what you're telling me?
There was a claim of a Japanese plane crash in the street.
There's nothing happened.
No. I could barely see the planes, but they were up there all right. Said one artilleryman.
I don't know.
I could see 6 planes and shells were bursting all around them. But by the time the all clear order was given that morning, the artillery batteries had pumped over 1,400 rounds.
Goodness gracious. That's insane.
But the only damage during the battle had come from friendly fire.
Yeah, I was going to say there was probably a lot of destruction going on trying to defend the city of Los Angeles.
Yeah, there was actually I'm trying to find there was actually some casualties.
That's messed up. Fire. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, there's still some, some will still say that there were indeed planes, but most accounts were that there was nothing. There wasn't anything.
They didn't see anything, and I would actually be more inclined to believe that because kamikaze pilots. I'm sorry, but if Japan made it all the way here, they would have destroyed
something.
A big majority of things. I think. Look what they did to Pearl Harbor. If they made it past, Pearl Harbor and made it all the way to the U.S. soil here, and with all of that, they would have left a mark that would probably still be visible today. That's just my opinion on it. Japanese army was a force to be reckoned with back then. We like to make fun of them regularly, but they were destructive. They destroyed so much, and they didn't mind dying doing it. The sub that was launching had stuff inland, and the aircraft. Those are just distractions, so the U.S. would move forces to where they weren't needed, and it worked. Yeah. In all reality, if I was planning on, doing something like that, just remove the whole moral element of it if I was bringing that much and I was saying, and it wasn't a full-on invasion, every plane in the sky would have been coming down into Los Angeles. If it was me personally, I would have leveled that place if that's what I was showing up to do. And that's what Japan did back then in World War II. They showed up to completely destroy things.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm saying they weren't there.
And there's another thing. The Office of Air Force in 1983 outlined the events of the LA air raid and noted that meteorological balloons had been released prior to the barrage to help determine wind conditions. So there's a chance that in all the paranoia with the air sirens going on and the complete darkness, someone spotted a balloon and started opening fire.
Shot it down.
Which caused everybody else to start firing.
Yeah. I don't know. That's wild. I may have to dig deeper into that because that's interesting. Was it the movie 1943? That sounds very familiar. You think that was based on the Battle of Los Angeles? Remember the comedy from the late 70s, early 80s? I enjoyed that movie so much. I really did. Comedy was so good back then.
It claimed 6 lives.
Okay.
That battle. 3 civilians were killed directly by friendly fire, while 3 others suffered heart attacks during the hour-long siege.
Heart attacks? Goodness gracious.
And a number of buildings were also damaged by anti-aircraft guns.
They're just blasting.
No.
Just straight up blasting on things.
Yeah.
I think sitting there in Los Angeles, they probably just got itchy trigger fingers and just found reasons to shoot at things. You know what I mean? I think that they were just ready.
Oh, yeah, and like I said, with the blackout, and they said there was no moon that night, so it had to be pitch black.
Oh, yeah, and they're all staring up into the sky seeing things, sure.
Yeah. And there are air raid sirens going off, and paranoia alone and fear just must have been...
Paranoia causes a lot of trouble in this world. So
that's all I have on that.
That's all you do? Paranoia probably would have helped this woman out a little bit. Because, there's the new details. Friday night. I'm sorry. This is an ongoing story, apparently. There's a female hiker was gored by a bison on Antelope Island. Antelope Island is, of course, somewhere. I'm not sure where that's at, but anyway. The moral of this story actually is there's a woman who was attacked by a bison. She was out hiking with a friend of hers who incidentally, and I mean, she was hurt pretty bad. Her friend that she was with, last time he was at this location 3 years ago, was also attacked by a bison pretty bad. So quite possible she should have just said, let's not go there. Antelope Island. I'm probably just going to edit this whole segment out. I thought there was more here.
That's in Salt Lake, Utah.
Utah, okay. But yeah, no, the dude she was with had also a very familiar experience at the same place. Yeah, I'm not worried about this one. I'm just going to edit this out. I thought there was a lot more here.
You could just use it for the end card.
I probably could. Which we're over an hour into this if you want to...
Yeah.
Okay. You got one more?
Nope. No, that was it for me.
I feel like I need to throw something in there. I'm going to talk about this email.
Right.
You have an email signature file for your emails? No, you don't. Well, it's a pretty bad idea to have one apparently, because in England, apparently a signature in your signature file on your email counts as a signature for legal documents in court. Yeah. High court judge has ruled an email sent by a lawyer is legally binding as it includes his automated signature. Does this make any sense to you whatsoever? An email is part of an exchange between lawyers whose clients over a dispute of a land sale. In the email, the lawyer for the owners set the terms, including the sale price of £25,000, lower than the original asking price, which the other lawyer accepted. Oh, but then he said the terms had not been finalized because no paperwork had been officially signed by both parties. The owner's lawyer, Daniel Tier, argued that this fell over some kind of sanction or whatever in England, which doesn't matter. The document incorporating the terms or where contracts are exchanged, one of the documents incorporating them, but not necessarily the same one, must be signed. So basically, if you're selling something, all you have to do is sign a napkin or something in England, and that's legally binding. Whatever dumb thing, if they find your name written on a bathroom stall, they could take that stall into court and say, I have his signature right here. I mean, literally, this is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. However, this judge was just like, sounds good. You know, that, yeah, $25,000 less. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, whatever terms, I don't care. His signature is right there in his email signature file. Yeah, it's not his real signature. It's automated, but good enough. I mean, this guy was late to tea and crumpets or tea time or something. He was not doing his job.
He's late for a golf game.
Yeah, he had to be, or some kind of Harry Potter cosplay. I don't know what they do over there in Britain. It's stupid.
Eating spotted dick, apparently.
Judge Pierce is, look him up. He probably plays Call of Duty. He's probably the same judge in England who called in to play Call of Duty and was suspended for like 6 months. That happened during Modern Warfare 2 or whatever. I remember reading about that. But, the guy calls in sick the day Modern Warfare 2 comes out, and he's just like, I'm sick. And I guess he was friends with a colleague's son who was also sick from school, and they played Call of Duty together all day, and like the dude's dad was like, oh, my colleague was playing Call of Duty with you. Weren't you both supposed to be sick? I don't know. I play video games when I'm sick.
Yeah, same here.
And when I'm not, of course, granted, a good illness is about the only way I can find time to play them these days. But the judge said that he was satisfied that it was signed, and it's relevant. The email was relevant to what they were talking about, and so the signature is cool. It's cool with him. So, yeah, it's England for you, though. I mean, that's British society. They're just like, tea and crumpets, ta-ta, see you later. Mary Poppins, I don't know. I don't know what they do over there, other than they're like, oh, I need to expand my business, my bus business. I can't afford another bus. I'll just put another bus on this bus, and we'll try to convince the world that it's unique. It's the double-decker couch. Okay, from the Lego movie. You remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone thinks it's dumb. Share in the comments if you don't agree. Double-decker buses are pretty cool, not gonna lie. I think it's genius. But Britain itself, they're trying to ban knives. They're trying to ban knives, and this is what happens when you ban guns. People find other ways to kill each other. So then you ban knives. Are we gonna ban fingers as they just go mass strangling? It's like there was a mass strangling today. We're gonna find new ways to kill each other.
Yeah, you're gonna have some guy running around stabbing people in the eye with a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
And then,
and
there goes Todd's popsicle stick crafting. I mean,
I know it. The difference between an American shooting and a murder with a gun in America and your typical murder in Canada or Australia or these places that have massive gun regulations is, in America, you can still have an open casket funeral. Where in those places, it's savage. It's beating people in the face with steel pipes and hatchets and stuff. It's crazy. Murder might be easier here, but it's cleaner. I don't know. That's my argument. I don't care. I've never murdered anyone with guns. Or anything else for that matter.
I was just going to say, I haven't murdered anybody with anything, so I guess I'm one up.
Oh, you trying to one-up me?
Yeah.
I haven't used anything. Just my fisticuffs.
30 style boxing.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've got, period. I'm done.
Me as well.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Like and share. Comment in the comments if you feel so.
And remember, that subscribe button doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost you a dime. You could turn on notifications if you want to find out, but if you don't, that's cool too. You'll come across us. It's fine.
Yeah. We'll be around.
It doesn't cost a dime. I like that. You want some free stuff? Have a free subscription to the Verbal Nonsense Podcast. I am Todd.
I'm Joel.
Thanks for watching.